guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Neon. I'm here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
And we're going to do, I guess, a little mixed bag of, I was going to say dismal Disney, but it's not all.
No, there is some good news.
It's not all dismal.
There's a lot of dismal, but there is some good news.
So we're going to talk first about revisit this Disney SEC whistleblower thing.
Yeah, you'll have to talk about that because that you were doing, I have no idea what's going on because I was working on Tile.
Yeah, because Disney, this went down the memory hole. We're going to talk about that a little bit, and then we're going to talk about where Disney is at in regards to opening up, because the stock is actually going up again today.
There's reasons, I'll explain.
There are reasons. We'll talk about that. But first, this was very curious. This is one of those things, we seem to find a lot of things that get buried.
Yeah, we're good at digging up stuff.
This was something that got buried, that there actually is a class action lawsuit being prepared, or at least they're investigating the potential for a class action lawsuit on behalf of the shareholders of the Walt Disney Company.
Well, it doesn't matter if you found it, if it's true, or if it has the basis. It's just all lies because we said it.
I know, right?
I love it. Even though we're right like 98% of the time.
Oh my God, we've got some salty people. Like
that just means we're right. They're getting so upset.
You're too close to the target.
Yeah.
People get very salty if we report on rumors or we actually find a legit source. They claim we're making everything up.
Yeah, and it's funny because because we say things, we're not just making up stuff to say. We have friends and people we know in all different arms in Hollywood and different companies. We have invites to several different studios and all kinds of stuff. So if we're telling you things, it's because it's either been given to us directly by the people involved, or because they hear something's going on and we look into it and find, they cited articles to back it up. So anyway, back to the thing that matters.
It doesn't matter if they don't like our channel.
It's a lie because they don't like it.
Everything's a lie if they don't like it.
I don't like licorice. It's a lie.
That's true. That's true. It is a lie. So anyway, this was actually put on the website of this law firm. This law firm deals primarily with securities law. Okay, they do class action suits.
Which would make sense. SEC involved, that kind of thing.
Right, and it's interesting because we haven't heard anything about this. If you remember, last August, I think, we had a former Disney employee say that she worked in the accounting department. She said that Disney was cooking the books.
Right.
Okay, so they were going to file something with the SEC, or their filings were wrong. The SEC was going to investigate it. Then it disappeared. It just completely disappeared.
Yeah, you didn't hear anything about it. It was just poof, gone.
Poof,
we knew it was going to happen. It always is how it happens. Same with the Onward van. There was a lawsuit, all kinds of news. You ever hear what happened with that? Of course not.
Nope. Mickey makes it disappear.
Yeah, I'm sure there's a lot of money made it disappear too.
Well, Mickey's running out of money these days. So this, though, is not the SEC. This is actually this law firm that wants to possibly pursue legal action on behalf of the shareholders of Disney who were duped because they were led to believe the company was more profitable than it actually is. And we've been telling you guys this for a while, that Disney is very good at arranging the books in such a way that it gives the best look. I mean, most companies are, but Disney's really, really good at it.
Well, they have a lot more money to spend on people who are better at it.
Yeah.
But let's be honest. I mean, name me a company that doesn't try to, within legal parameters, make it look the best they can.
Well, the question is going to be is
it legal parameters?
Is it legal?
Right.
Because we're talking that they could have potentially inflated their revenue by billions, and now we're seeing them frantically borrow billions. Okay, so I'm like, well, if you guys were really flush with cash,
even though they overpaid for Fox, even if they had the money they said they had, and by the amount of money they gouged, guests from the parks with, they should have had plenty of money. They're awfully in the hole. It doesn't, something's weird.
Yeah, they don't have the cash reserves. I don't think that people think they have.
That could be because of Fox, that could be Fox as a smokescreen. It could go either way.
I think it's a number of things, but this accountants were up one side down the other, that they were cooking the books.
Right, but that's one person too. I mean, I'm just trying to be fair. I'm playing devil's advocate.
Oh, no, I completely agree. We don't know. We don't know what actually happened.
Devil's advocate, I'm saying.
Anyway, Shaw Law Firm is looking into it. They put out a press release about
That's weird, a press release.
2 weeks ago. Yeah, they sent it to all the major stock publications.
And it got buried and no one covered it.
It got buried. Market Watch covered it. Barron's covered it. I think it was on Forbes or Fortune.
Oh, they did cover it?
Yeah. They just ran the press release. They didn't really go into detail.
Oh, so they didn't make it like a headline or like try to promote it. They just buried it among articles. That is interesting. That would be a big thing to report on.
That is a big story, but MarketWatch got a lot of backlash from Disney when they reported on the whistleblower.
How dare you, like, tell people what's actually going on?
Right. So anyway, if you are a shareholder and you want to contact them, they're doing an investigation right now, or certification. That says the class in this case has not yet been certified. Until certification occurs, you're not represented by an attorney. So you can contact them if you're a Disney shareholder and you have concerns about their bookkeeping.
Well, you are. So.
I am. Yeah.
I mean, if you want to get in, but I mean, I don't know if I want to bother.
Let's get in on some of that hot Mickey action.
This is going to get buried like everything else.
It's going to get buried.
You know it's going to get buried.
We've told people this. They were like, "Oh, this is a big deal." It's like, no, you don't understand. Disney makes problems go away.
We talked to lawyers. We have actually lawyers in the LA area, Anaheim area, that Hollywood attorneys. We have Hollywood attorneys. They won't touch or go anywhere near lawsuits involving Disney unless they have a watertight case, and even then they're still leery to do it.
Yeah, that was really interesting to talk to these big lawyers and be like, we will take on anybody, anywhere, anytime, except Mickey Mouse. We're afraid of Mickey Mouse.
I better clarify. We were not asking about going after Disney for anything.
No. It was small
conversation.
Talk. It was small talk.
Like, what do you do? Oh, we did stuff for Disney. Oh, okay. And then that brought that up. I better clarify. You were like, right. Oh my God, they're no. That wasn't what was going on.
It was small talk, and they were basically like, yeah, it's funny. We'll basically go after anybody except Disney, because their lawyers are tenacious, and it's not even worth the hassle.
They will, they actually, if they had to, but they prefer not to.
Yeah, usually Disney, as I understand it, this is why things disappear. They will actually throw money at people and settle things before it hits the press. Because we've told you guys many, many times, bad press is holy water to the Walt Disney Company.
Right, and they will. I mean, that's why you never heard anything else about the Onward van, but then they were still selling merchandise, and no one could get any information on what happened. I'm sure there was a lot of money and a signed, you can't talk about it document. Skyliner, there was that incident in the Skyliner, that video and all that stuff. You ever notice that no one talks about what happened and what people were given for compensation on the Skyliner? Did you ever notice this?
Yeah, and that was a case-by-case basis. They even said, Disney even said, it's a case-by-case basis. People get hurt at Disney all the time. You never hear about it, and this is why they basically throw money at people to get them to shut up, because they'd rather throw money at people than lose out on potential revenue by having the bad press.
Now, there are lawsuits, because there was one that just got dropped a couple months ago. Some guy was suing for wrongful imprisonment because he apparently, allegedly, threatened a cast member because they told him to move for a parade. Which, if you've been to Disney, they have it roped off, and they will tell you to move. You're not allowed to stand there. Yeah. And he didn't want to because he was afraid that he'd lose his family since they were at the concession stand, and got belligerent, allegedly, with the cast member, and they end up, arresting him, and he sued Disney, and then he dismissed it for no reason. So I'm just saying, I only brought that up because it was a recent thing I saw.
Lifetime passes.
I don't think he probably has a ban, honestly. If he laid hands on a cast member, he's probably got a ban. Anyway, so let's talk about Disney's bigger problem right now is the complete lack of revenue coming in, because the movies are at a standstill, the theme parks are at a standstill. Everybody's wondering when Disney is going to open, and you've got a little insight into what they're at least talking about. Oh, yeah, no, there's not much going on. I mean, what's going on is, well, one, Universal City Walk opened last night at 4 p.m., and it's pretty much opening every day from 4 to 10. They just got the go-ahead to move Florida to phase 1, which means that restaurants and stores can be at 50% capacity instead of 25%, and that starts on Monday the 18th. Okay. Now, Disney Springs is opening on the 20th of May, and that's for third-party restaurants and stores. A lot of them are opening. Every time you turn around, you see another one that they're going to open on the 20th. Yeah. Disney-owned restaurants and stores, though, will likely open on the 27th of May, according to the one union representative, or the president of the union. So that's coming. But now the governor said theme parks are allowed to submit their proposals for reopening to the state so that they can look at them. And then among this, they have to say, what date they want to reopen, how they're going to go about reopening, what are they going to do to protect guests, what are they going to do to protect their employees, that kind of stuff. They have to submit it to the state, and they have to put a date on it of when they plan to reopen. So we might be hearing something soon about reopening dates. I'm saying for Disney World, I'm going to guess July or August. That's what I would think. Yeah, and it's going to be limited. I mean, we've heard before it's probably just going to be 1 or 2 parks. It's going to be very, very limited. Now, one rumor we have heard, and I don't know, again, it's a rumor, we don't know if it's true or not, is that basically they're going to sell a limited number of tickets, but even annual pass holders
will have to buy these tickets, so you can't use your annual pass.
Well, it makes sense because over in Shanghai, what they did was they sold tickets. They're selling tickets now to go, and you have to have a ticket to get in. With the annual passes out there, they have so many to have them, and they're trying to limit capacity. You need a ticket to actually get in. So what's probably going to happen is that you have to buy a ticket. Now, annual pass holders, it's possible they might just be able to say, "I want a ticket," and they'll find a way to get you a ticket, or I don't know. But the rumor is you might have to buy tickets like everybody else, and if that's the case, then they better extend those annual passes for longer months because you couldn't use it, but you paid for it. If you still buy a ticket like everybody else, even if it's a reduced ticket, you should still get your annual pass longer because you already paid for unlimited tickets. This sounds like more like a ticketed event, like a party, a Halloween party, a Christmas party or something.
I'm wondering if that's how they're going to do it, and they're going to have like really limited hours, and basically it's going to be like limited time magic. They'll put the best possible spin on
limited time magic, unlimited parks, limited attractions for twice the price.
Right, that's what's going to happen.
Limited time breathing because you have to wear those masks because they have specified that that guests and cast members will be required to wear masks at least at Disney Springs.
Yeah, so they're definitely going to do it in the theme parks. And then you were saying that they had people going around being like, we did not, the health inspectors or whatever were like, we did not realize there were this many surfaces that could be touched.
Yeah, Universal, they actually invited them, the City Walk, the Department of Health in Florida and the representative for that area. They invited them in to examine what they're doing for procedures before they open City Walk. And is it Dr. Pino? Is that what it is?
I think you're right, yeah.
He was commenting about, he's always in the Orange County Economic Release Task Force meetings and giving it the medical updates on what's going on. He commented about how he didn't really realize until he saw it about all the surfaces like the railings down the queues and all this people are touching. Now, if you're a theme park person, you've been to the theme parks, you're well aware of how many surfaces are touched because you're standing in line and watching little kids, drag their nose down a railing, drag their tongue down a railing, licking rocks, sneezing and coughing, their hands picking their nose and touching like the mine train, like the little activities in the queue. I mean, our kids, we constantly have hand sanitizer when we go to the parks before the whole COVID thing because everybody knows if you go to Disney, you have a good chance of getting sick on a normal basis with the flu or norovirus, whatever, because everybody's sick. People changing diapers in the street.
Oh, God,
sometimes I'm like, really, there's a change. They've changing rooms all over the place. But you see nasty things like that. It's not Disney's fault or the cast members' fault. It's just really, disgusting people. I thought it was funny that they said they didn't really think about that before.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's what we think about all the time. And they said, though, moving forward, they're hoping that this ushers in an era of more better cleanliness guidelines for parks. And I think people now, they're more aware of things around them because everybody's been so worried about getting sick that maybe moving forward, at least for a couple years, people just forget about it and do their thing again. People will be a little more careful, I hope.
You would think.
I'm not talking about just for coronavirus. I'm talking about in general, like flu, COVID, different people get sick, fevers and get sick. We've gotten sick at Disney before.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you've actually been sick in the hotel room.
Yeah. But I didn't go to the parks when I was sick. I went back to the room, so I didn't think about it. But I was okay the next day, so.
This is really interesting because they're saying they can submit the plans. Then they have to look at the plan and they have to approve the plan. And then by the time they approve the plan and stamp it, give it the stamp of approval, then they've got to bring cast members in to get the parks ready because, as we understand it, there's freaking wildlife running around in the Magic Kingdom.
Even to submit the plan, you have to have like the mayor or an official sign off on it before it can be submitted to the state.
Yeah.
So you're still talking a ways off. I mean, I can't think before July and late June. I can't think before that because they have to go through so many steps.
Yeah.
And then they're already going to put like shields in and all this other stuff in. You said there's what were the things they're worried about? Bears and alligators?
Bears and gators and snakes. And I guess our understanding from talking to people close to the situation is that the wildlife has returned in the Magic Kingdom. So they got to clean all that up. Mm-hmm. And then they're going to have to get, everything's going to have to be, I guess, germ-proofed.
Yeah, they're going to have to put all that stuff in, clean it all. They have to train cast members. Cast members have to come back in. They're going to have trainings.
So there's weeks
on social distancing. Well, not necessarily. And they also said that cast members will be given thermometers if they request one to keep track of their self-assessments at home. And they said if a cast member, they did agree. This is another step forward. They made agreements with the union on how they're going to move forward with the coronavirus to protect their employees. And one of the things they came up with is if an employee shows symptoms or it has a coronavirus, they will be allowed to quarantine at home with full pay.
Yeah, I see this.
So it doesn't count against them on their attendance policy. because they're trying to keep people, safe and healthy.
Yeah, so this sounds a lot like what you're probably all seeing now when you go out to the grocery store, you go to the restaurants, for takeout, that they're going to have the, the shields up and everything's going to be touchless.
They're having hand washing stations, hand sanitizing stations. Yeah, touchless payments. Masks will be required. This is also what I recovered. And if you go to Pirates and Princesses, I have the same thing out there.
Yeah, so it's going to be very different, and who knows how long this is going to last. I mean, depending on who you ask, some people are like, until there's a vaccine, and other people are like, well, this could be the new normal for God knows how many years.
Yeah, who knows? We honestly, none of us
Nobody
know.
knows. Nobody knows.
Everybody's speculating. No one really knows what's going to happen. We just have to, take it day by day and see what happens. But and it doesn't matter whether you believe, that you should stay in or you shouldn't. If you feel safe going, go. Just understand that you're going to be required to wear masks, required to follow guidelines. I saw on the that was it Orange TV when they had the one meeting. This one person, I think they're from Pittsburgh because they kept saying Yins, was going on about that's all dumb and masks are dumb and everything else is dumb, and it's like, well, I'm sorry, but if they have vacation coming, if you want to go on your vacation, you're going to have to follow the guidelines, because they have stressed repeatedly that how long this stuff has to stay in place is going to also depend on how much the guests do what they're supposed to do and follow procedures and behave themselves.
Oh, God.
That has a big part of it.
Then this is never going to end, because if you've ever been to a Disney park, the guests don't listen.
The entitlement is off the charts.
It is off the charts. I paid $10,000 to be here. I am going to do whatever the hell I want to do. My kids are going to treat cast members.
My kids want to lick that bench. They're going to lick that bench. And you're going to sit there and like it.
Yeah. There you go. It's Mickey's Magical
Tongue Bath.
Mickey's Magic. That's a new attraction. Since they have to close all the rides down, you get to amuse yourself with Mickey's Magical Tongue Bath. There you go.
Now, there are a lot of parents at the parks who, don't let their kids get away with crap, and they stop their kids and they're like, no, that's not how you behave. But there are, I think, more parents that are like, well, my Timmy's special. I always use Timmy, but I'm sorry, Timmy's out there. My Timmy's special, and my Timmy could do what he wants. And if my Timmy runs into your kid or shoves your kid out of the way, wants to be in your kid's seat, you need to move for my Timmy, because somehow we're better than you and deserve to be here more. And you do run into those.
Yeah.
But mostly, I mean, for the most part, I think most parents try to pay attention. But like they call it Disney brain. When you go there, and it's like you're so enamored by everything around you, you're not paying attention like you'd pay attention normally. So it's probably, that could be a problem too.
Yeah, my favorites, where the parents are on their phones and they're taking selfies and the kids are running rampant.
Oh, I love when the parents are taking selfies of themselves with their kids. They aren't watching their kids.
Yeah. Oh, God, this happens all the time.
You know what else? You go to the parks, especially in the early hours when it's not that busy, I get so tired of all the people taking selfies. And they expect you to completely walk around them while they take a whole section of an area to pose different ways. I've seen women have their poor boyfriends or husbands with them, and they're making them take pictures of them as they do different things. It's ridiculous. I think I can't tell you how many times I've rolled my eyes when I'm walking through the Fantasyland and there's some girl in her outfit done up, sitting on a bench, sprawled across it, taking up a huge section, and there's some poor schmo sitting there taking pictures of her at every angle, holding her purse, handing her something, while she's like, #me! And I'm just like, oh, I just can't stand those people. It's like, #get a life and stop being rude and egocentric and narcissistic, and I'm so tired of narcissists. Sadly, they keep getting, attention on the internet and taking jobs.
I remember a time before selfies. I do remember people had cell phones, but they were like flip phones, and people just used their phones to call each other. And that was
remember when some people didn't think they were the center of the universe?
Yeah, no, it's been a while.
Like, I'm so cute. Like, oh my God. Like, take a picture because look at me. Here I am. Take another one. They can't see me do the poses, but they always have to put their arms like in an L shape or their arms up in the air. Like, here I am. It's all about me.
Yeah, well, that's a problem. Everybody thinks it's about them. Then you've got millions of people who are selfish.
Right.
And society crumbles.
Right now, it's not about you. If you want the parks to open and you want your ass there with your Mickey ice cream bar taking selfies in front of the castle, you're going to have to understand you're going to be wearing a mask. You're going to be washing your hands. You're going to be following social distancing protocols. You're going to treat cast members with respect. And you're going to have to sit there and follow the rules. And you can't be about your little kid pulling their mask off because they're hot. Or because you're taking your mask off because you want this selfie or that selfie. You're gonna have to follow the rules.
You want to talk about the rules getting ridiculous and how inconvenient just doing basic things are. We went to go look at a house today. Okay, the 4 of us, we went to go look at a house. You know what we had to do just to go inside the house? Now, this house is not occupied. It was a brand new house.
I thought we're not supposed to speak of it. I mean, I thought the rectal temperature was a little bit much. No, I'm kidding.
I tried not to cry, but they didn't use anything. But masks, gloves, and booties.
And a signed affidavit.
And a signed affidavit before we could go into the house. We had to sign a piece of paper saying that nobody had a temperature. We had to wear gloves, we had to wear masks, and we didn't have booties, so we went and got like Walmart bags.
We had tied bags on our feet.
Tied bags on our feet.
They told us to.
Yes. And, you know, the realtor, she stood outside the whole time. Only 2 of us were allowed in at a time.
So we had to, I had to come out and keep taking the kids in one at a time.
Right.
So, yeah.
So it was like, yeah, it was just to do something that normally would be like, hey, let's swing by and look at that house.
Right.
You know, became this big ordeal. So that's what even going to the theme parks is going to be, but times 100.
Right, yeah, because they're going to do temperature checks. They're going to still do bag checks. They're going to do all that stuff. You have to wear a mask. There are going to be guidelines. There'll be social distancing that you have to stay back. You have to watch your children and make sure your children keep their masks on. Your children aren't licking things. Your children are standing back in line. And you're going to have to actually pay attention. And you know what? If you can't do that, don't go to the parks. Because what you're going to do is, by going to the parks and disobeying the rules, it's just going to show them that people aren't listening, and it's going to make it take way longer to reopen everything for everybody else.
Yeah. Yep.
If you don't like it, wait till the rules are no longer in place, and then visit like next year.
That's what I think. I mean, personally, that's what I think a lot of people are going to do. But you know, speaking of, you know, letting things go, because we're letting it go here.
I got that, yeah.
Right. I had to get that in there because this actually a friend of ours sent us this story, and he made the let it go joke, but it's so obvious. Everybody knows. Disney, they're not opening the Frozen Broadway play back up again. They're done. They're pulling the plug on it.
Well, it's kind of run its course, honestly. I mean, it wasn't out very long, but they've done this before.
Not even 2 years, yeah.
They had the other shows that they didn't have out very long, and then they pulled them.
I didn't even know, like, they had Aladdin, they had Hercules, they had, like, I didn't even know. It's not like Lion King that's been on Broadway forever. You know, some of these shows are just kind of in and out, and I'd say they would probably perform it on the cruise ships, but yeah, they're not going anywhere either.
Not anytime soon. Right now they're doing Beauty and the Beast on the cruise ships, though. So
yeah. So what they're doing, Disney's already starting to trim back on some of its expenses because they're starting to run out of money. Because even when the parks open, they're not going to be raking the cash in.
Well, no, they're going to be limited capacity.
Yep.
And again, that's phase 1 is reopening. I don't think theme parks are even supposed to be allowed to be considered until like phase 2 or 3 anyway.
It's going to be a couple of months.
I mean, I don't think they're even, if they have a date in mind, I think it's going to depend on the phase as well. So we don't know what's going on. I just know that right now they're allowed to submit plans. It has to have approval from a local official, and then it has to be submitted to the governor's office for review, and then they have to bring everybody back and get the places ready to reopen. They have to have training. So I'm saying at least late June.
I'm sitting here thinking, like, can you imagine people on roller coasters with masks and everything? Like, the masks will blow off.
If they're open.
They might not even open those doors.
If you're on a roller coaster and you cough, the person behind you is going to blow right through it.
It's going to be like a bug on a windshield. You're going to get a face full of
you just infected
mucus.
Everybody behind you on the coaster and everybody below you.
Oh, God. Yeah, so this is going to be a mess, right? So we'll see what happens. Again, just to bring it back to the beginning, you know, if you're a Disney shareholder and you want to know what's up, contact these people.
If you're interested in finding out about it.
Yeah, I don't think this is really going to hit the mainstream news.
I don't think so either. I think it'll be ended before it begins.
It'll go away. I think this law firm put it out there to Market Watch and Barron's and Forbes, everything else, hoping Disney would be like, here, we'll just give you some money and shut up.
It could be.
And don't do this because we can't take the bad press right now.
That very well could be.
All right, so we're gonna wrap it up.
Yep, I gotta go grout.
She's gonna go grout.
I have to go do my manly woman things.
Yeah.
Because that's how I am.
She pees standing up.
That's how I roll. No, I tried that. It's been.
You've tried that?
I tried to squat. It's just I don't like peeing outside of a toilet. When you're a woman, it's just not very convenient.
Okay, that's too much information. We're gonna wrap it up.
Yep.
Talk to you guys later.
Bye.
Hey guys, thanks for watching Clownfish TV. Please consider supporting the channel. Go to clownfishsupport.com. That's clownfishsupport.com. And if you want to join our community, go to clownfishtalk.com. That's clownfishtalk.com. Please subscribe, ring the bell for notifications. We will talk to you next time.